WWE Royal Rumble 2019 is now in the books. It was a night where we had two mega Rumble matches, with Becky Lynch coming out on top in the Women's Rumble match and Seth Rollins coming out victorious in the Men's Rumble match in the main event of the night. There were 8 titles on the line, and we even had a woman entering the Men's Royal Rumble match. Go figure, huh? We had all that and a ton of other action at this year's Royal Rumble. Let's go check it out. So I took a couple of polls here on my channel of who you guys thought would win the Royal Rumble. Now, we had a really good turnout. Thanks to everybody who voted, and we will have more polls coming up in the future. So looking at these poll results, we had 474 votes that came in for the Men's Royal Rumble, with 45% of those votes going for Seth Rollins. So that's just under half the people who voted for Seth Rollins. So he got a good majority there, and of course he was the winner. Other interesting results here, we had John Cena coming in at 23%, so we had at least a fifth of you guys that voted who thought that Cena might win. Of course, he wasn't actually in the Rumble match in the end, he was injured, but interesting to see that he got not a bad turnout. So there are still a lot of John Cena fans out there. Drew McIntyre a bit lower on the poll than expected maybe. Jeff Hardy got a few votes, and that's pretty much how we went there. And looking at the women's poll now, we had 172 votes come in there. We had Becky Lynch, definitely an outstanding majority there with 47%, almost half the votes going to her. And then second of all was Charlotte Flair. She followed a wee bit behind, so Becky was definitely the clear favourite here. And some other votes coming in there was Sasha Banks as well, and a couple of others. So some interesting poll results there for sure. You guys got it right basically. Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch both had quite an overwhelming majority there. Now, we also had another stipulation in there as well. To get a shout out for your channel, you actually had to write your winner's name in the comment section so I could actually see who wrote it, so I could give that channel a shout out. And if you guys did that and got it right, you would get a shout out right here and right now. And I'm glad to say we got 2 people who picked it right. So let's go first up. I'm totally going to butcher this name, and I apologise for that. Koenig Avanash. Probably totally butchered that. But you picked Seth Rollins to win the Royal Rumble. You wrote it in the comment section, and you got it bang on. So well done. And we also had a winner in the Women's Royal Rumble poll as well, and that's Jess Dillon. Congratulations to you. You picked that the man, Becky Lynch, would win the Women's Royal Rumble, and she surely did. So good on you. Well done. So thanks again for everyone who took the time to vote on the polls. A really good turnout there. And as I say, we will be having more polls in the future. Okay guys, so let's head to all the action from the Royal Rumble. It was a pretty good night. It was a pretty good pay-per-view. The 2 Rumble matches, they were quite good. They didn't disappoint. I'd say with the women's one, there were really no legends in there at all. So they did it a bit differently this year. Obviously last year it was packed with legends, but they went with more so the NXT stars this year. I mean, it worked out okay, but it would have been cool to see, you know, a couple of legends in there somewhere. It was cool to see Hornswoggle. He made an appearance, so I guess that's at least something, right? But we had Becky Lynch winning the Women's Royal Rumble. Of course, she lost to Asuka earlier in the night in her championship match. So basically, Lana was slated to come out, but she couldn't compete because she twisted her ankle earlier on in the night in the match between Shinsuke Nakamura and Rusev. So she came out to the Rumble, but she couldn't compete. So basically, Becky Lynch took her place. And it was pretty awesome to see Becky Lynch. The first person she faced off against was Nia Jax, which was pretty cool. Started pounding her face, just as Nia had done to her, of course. So Becky got a bit of revenge there on Nia. And then basically it came down to Becky and Charlotte at the end. Becky had a bit of a bung knee, but she said, "Come on, fight me, bring on the fight." And it was good to see the man, Becky Lynch, getting the win here. And you would suspect that she would now go on to face Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania. Maybe Charlotte could put up a complaint saying, hey, she wasn't officially in the match, and we still could get a triple threat there between Rousey, Charlotte, and Becky at WrestleMania, but we'll just wait and see what happens. So the Women's Rumble match, not too bad. So some of the other standout matches from the night, the Raw Women's Championship match between Ronda Rousey and Sasha Banks. That was a really good match. It was a really good, solid wrestling match. Both competitors put up a really good performance in the ring. Sasha Banks really stood her ground against the bigger woman, Rousey. And Ronda Rousey's matches are really becoming a thing to see on WWE pay-per-views. She often is the standout match of the night. And this was a really good match. Both women performed really well on this one. Now, the Finn Balor versus Brock Lesnar match, that was another good match too. It was nice how Finn just came out of the gates and just totally rushed Brock right from the start when he had his back turned, kicking and punching the crap out of him. That was a really good way to start the match, and Finn put up a really good performance in this match. He really put up a good fight. There was like a moment midway through the match where he did like 3 over-the-top somersaults onto Brock, one after the other, and he was just going all out on the offense, and he put up a really good, believable fight. He put up a really good fight in this match. But in the end, it was Finn going with the coup de grace. I never thought that move would be enough to put Brock Lesnar away, and it certainly wasn't. Brock reversed it straight in the Kimura lock, almost broke his arm, and also ended the match with a few suplexes and an F5 and a post-match beatdown on Finn. But Finn really did put up a good fight, and this was a pretty good match to watch. I also thought there were a couple of good moments in the SmackDown Tag Team match with Shane and Miz. Shane McMahon, damn, he may be getting on in age, but he can still pull some awesome moves off in that ring. I thought the big swing by Cesaro on Shane, that was unreal. That just went on and on. That was pretty cool to watch. And also the shooting star press that Shane did right at the end to win the match. Damn, that was unreal. That was so amazing just to see him pull that off. So that was really cool. Shane can still go, no doubt about it. So with all that being said, guys, it's now time to head to my match of the night. Match of the night. Okay, guys, so my match of the night, it was the Men's Royal Rumble. We had a ton of stuff going on here. It was the main event of the evening. Of course, last year it was the first match of the Royal Rumble with the Women's Rumble debuting that year. But tonight it went on last, and we had Jeff Jarrett. He came out early with Elias, so it was pretty cool to see him. We at least had one legend in the match. Elias quickly turned on Jarrett and beat him down. But it was cool to see Jarrett out there anyway. He actually had the same attire that he had from WrestleMania 11 when he took on Razor Ramon, so that was pretty unreal. We also had Kurt Angle make an appearance, albeit brief, but it was pretty cool to see him out there as well. We had a funny spot there with Titus O'Neil as he ran out, made fun of his greatest Royal Rumble moment, and he basically got to the ring and stopped, so made sure he didn't slide over, and Kurt Hawkins was under there, and he basically ended up sliding under there and chasing him under the ring. So yeah, that was pretty funny. Basically, again, they didn't focus on the legends for the Men's Rumble match either. This year they went with the NXT stars. We saw guys like Aleister Black and Johnny Gargano. So they focused on more of the current talent this year, which is fine. That's fair enough. We didn't see EC3. I had him as an outsider pick. Thought maybe it would have been cool to put him in the Rumble and just to see how that would have gone, but he didn't even appear in the Rumble match, so not to worry. And we had R-Truth coming out at number 30. Everyone knew that he would be coming out at number 30 as him and Carmella won the Mixed Match Challenge. So Truth came out and Nia Jax beat the living crap out of him, and she took his spot at number 30, and she entered the men's Royal Rumble. So maybe some will say it's controversial. She wasn't in there for really long. She ate an RKO from Randy Orton, and she eliminated Mustafa Ali, I think it was, and you know, it was a pretty cool moment. It was just a bit of fun. I don't think you really need to take it too seriously. You know, it's just sports entertainment in the end, so I don't think anyone needs to take that too seriously. But upon hearing that Braun was entered into this match, replacing Cena, I thought he was definitely a real possibility to win. I thought it was going to be either Braun or Seth to win this one, because you could have had Braun versus Brock at WrestleMania, so that would have been great. I think if Seth decides to take on Lesnar, if that match is the one that happens, that'll be a great matchup. Of course, a lot of water to go under the bridge until then. But Seth Rollins, definitely a deserving Rumble winner. His first Rumble win, another notch on his belt of accomplishments in the WWE. It was about time he won one. Entering at number 10, taking the whole thing out. And he has the potential to be a huge star in the WWE, of course, with the Shield now broken up. He is the one that could go the furthest out of all three of them. He's got everything going for him. He is unbelievable in that ring. A really good athlete. There's no move he can't pull off. He's definitely getting better on the mic. He's not a bad mic guy. And of course they have tried giving him the major push before, but he's always got injured or something's always happened. So hopefully this time around things can go well for him. So that was WWE Royal Rumble 2019. A pretty good show, some good moments throughout the night. Thanks heaps guys for tuning into the video, and we will catch you next time. Thanks heaps guys for tuning into the video. Be sure to drop a scorpion death drop on that like button and subscribe to the channel for more awesome pro wrestling action from the WWE, the WCW and much more.